Hey, good evening. Welcome. It's Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's time for Friday Night Live. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous. Thank you for joining me tonight. A couple of announcements. As always, first of all, ask the questions. Please feel free. Text, make a comment. Would love to have this as a conversation. We are going into the Facebook page and also into the private page. So just wanting you to be aware of that. So ask the questions. Of course, we've got a group coming up the 11th, going to start in person, Grand Rapids. January 12th, the online group starts. So no matter where you are, we are going to come together and start 10 weeks of support to get you processing through this trauma of divorce. Do not think that you can do this on your own. It's such a mistake because you know what? We're going to talk about time and life tonight, and time and life is too short for all of us. So why would we want to prolong this agony and pain when we can make it happen faster and smoother? It's possible. I've seen it in the last 16 years with hundreds of individuals that I work through. Do not go through it alone. There's so much value in having a group. Many of the people who come to my group also go to a therapist. So it is time to double up, to get the support that you need, because this divorce has caused enough time and enough damage. It's time to stop it. It's time to stop that which is stalling and stealing. And that certainly is procrastination of believing that you can do this on your own. You can't, not effectively. I promise you, you can't. So join us. Here's your opportunity. In your own home, we're going to meet at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then we as a group will decide if this is the best time or not. If it's not, we'll change it. We'll make it work for the individuals in the group. So connect with me, registration form to get that started. Make this investment in your healing. So very, very important too. What else do I want to tell you? You can still request this book, this little workbook. It's a download that I will send to you, no cost. And time's shortening on this book right now. It was called Preparing for Mediation. It is now being revised into Seeing Your Attorney for the First Time, a preparation and mediation guide. This workbook, it's about 30 pages right now. It'll probably end up being 35. I'm adding some more things. I'm doing some cleaning up, some more information in there. This little book that is going to go for sale very shortly is now no cost. This book is going to literally save you hundreds of dollars. It's a free download right now. Hundreds of dollars. Why? Because it helps prepare you for seeing your attorney for the first time and prepares you for mediation. So get these resources. And then, of course, there are many other books. And this is one of the latest group book, which is 30 Days of Healing After Divorce. We have to start focusing intentionally on our healing. It doesn't happen by some whim or some time that passes. Many people I have dealt with have worked for years denying the care that they needed and the intentional healing that they needed. And what did they do? Did they succeed in that time? No, they just put off their healing for that amount of years. I hope you'll join us. I hope you'll join us. I hope you'll connect with these resources. They're incredibly inexpensive. I have a whole Suddenly Single series that's available to you too. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk about the topic that we're going to talk about tonight. What are you holding on to that is stalling and stealing your future? What are you holding on to? What's holding you back? What is it? What's stalling you? What's slowing you down? What's bogging you down and stealing your future? Like I just mentioned, the divorce has caused enough pain and time and life. So we need to find those things that are blocking us, that are keeping us stuck, so that we can move forward and create the beautiful life that we want and that God wants for us. You know, one thing I really love about God, and I mean this with all of my heart, He doesn't want us to stay stuck in our disappointment, in our fault, in our blame, in our shame. He doesn't want us to stay there. He loves us so much and wants a better life for us. I love that. He doesn't want you stuck. He doesn't want you punishing yourself or punishing anyone else for that matter. He wants you to move through this, to grow through this, to become the person which God knows you have the full potential to be. So, what are those things that are keeping you stuck? Let's talk about them. These are just a few, could be a number of others. Clutter, the thing around us, the things around us. The things around us that are stalling and stealing our focus of creating a new life. Simplify. As you are going through this divorce, it is an incredibly rich time in which to simplify and get rid of the clutter in your life. It's complicated enough right now. So if you can simplify it now, you can easier build it into the future that you want and you love and that God has planned for you. Clutter. It's stalling and stealing your focus on where you want to go and what you want to do. Well, something else is stalling and stealing. Excuse me. Blame. That stalls and steals your responsibility. What do I mean by that? If I blame others, and this happens, and you've probably seen it, you've probably seen your former spouse blame you so they don't have to accept responsibility of their own. When we're blaming other people, we're casting things at other people, we're not taking responsibility for what is our work and our part. So blame is going to stall and steal finding the responsibility of where you need healing and the work that you have to do. And it's going to distract you and focus on someone else. So if you've been blaming, and I know there's a lot of things that have happened to you, as have happened to many people that I've worked with, as happened to me, that were wrong. But you see, it's stealing your life and your time when you spend your time blaming other people. That doesn't do any good. Even though wrong has been committed, the responsibility we have is, where do we go from here? We have our own work to do. Our own work to do. So when we can focus here, we stop using that energy of casting out to others. And we look inward and say, Lord, what work do I need to do to heal? What work do I need to do to become a better person? So blaming others steals and stalls us growing by taking responsibility for what is our life and our work to do for our own healing. Guilt stalls and steals your freedom. Guilt. Guilt is something that perhaps we know that we didn't handle things the best in the past. Welcome to the human race. All of us have things that we did not handle well in the past, primarily, especially, I should say, when we're going through divorce, because we are in so much pain and confusion and hurting. So if we carry all this guilt, we're not free. We're not free. We are burdened with this heavy guilt of things that we've done. God never intended us to carry guilt. There may be guilt that directs us to repentance, to find God, but He doesn't want us stuck there. If you have guilt of things that you have done, maybe there's something that you need to forgive yourself in. Maybe there's something you need to forgive others in. And we've talked about forgiveness before. We want to be real careful in going to our ex and asking forgiveness, because if it's a volatile situation, it could just create a real victim situation for you. But if we have guilt, we are bound. We're in a prison. And we do not have freedom. So it's going to stall and it's going to steal your freedom. Shame stalls and steals your dignity, makes you hide. You know what Adam and Eve did the first thing when they realized when God was coming and they had sinned and they felt full of shame? They hid. They hid. Shame stalls and steals your dignity and your personhood. It tells you that you have no value. But shame is not a truth teller many times. It tells us many lies. So it stalls and it steals your dignity. And when you're hiding from people, you're hiding from God. You're not going to heal. You're hurting yourself. You're isolating yourself. So shame is one of those big things. It's such a profound topic that many of us suffer from in many, many ways. But it stalls and it steals your dignity. And it's never meant to do that. We were never meant to live in shame. It's just our mental, emotional, spiritual life can't take it. Our heart can't take it. We were meant to surrender the shame. In fact, that's what Christ did, is He took our shame on the cross. He says, you don't have to hold it anymore. You don't have to carry it anymore. I took it from you. I took it. You're free. And now I want you to have the abundant life. You are free from your shame, from your guilt. So life is short. Your life is short. My life is short. The divorce has taken way too much time and energy and life. And there are things that are stalling and stealing your future. I hope that you will consider. Thank you for sharing, wanting to share. If you're in the page, you can share. Not in the private group, you can't share because that's very private. So thank you for the comments. I love the comments. But the question, back to the question, what are you holding on to that's stalling and stealing your future? One of the questions that I ask in this book, I do love this book. What is, here it is, hold on, I'll find it. It's on day 25. Where is that? Here it is. Find the offense that haunts you. Find the offense that haunts you, whether that's someone else's or yours. What is it that is stalling and stealing your future from you? What is that one or two things, those one or two things that are haunting you, that you can't let go of, that they carry you around all the time? Maybe they're that self-talk that repeats itself in your head. What is it? Could go all the way back to childhood. I don't know. Or maybe it was a betrayal or something that has been really, you just can't shake and you can't let go. Maybe you need help with that. Maybe it is stalling and stealing your future. Maybe that's something that you could share with a therapist, a pastor, a friend, or a support group. Your life is short and precious and has a future. It has a future. So those things that hinder you, that hold you back, they need to first be recognized. There is power in recognizing, identifying what those things are. And then you ask yourself the question, how do I need to move forward? Do I need someone to help me through this? Do I need to journal this? What do I need to do with this? So that it does not haunt me and follow me any longer. Make the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. They're evil because they're short and we think that we have forever and we don't. Make the most of every opportunity. I have given you an opportunity in which to begin your healing by joining a support group. Do this inner work. Do this healing after divorce. I hope something of this conversation has been of help to you. I pray for your healing. I pray for your support, that you find the support you need to deal with the stuff that has burdened you, stalled you, and stole life from you. Doesn't have to. We have the choice. You have the choice. I hope you'll choose to work on your healing. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous, your guide through the trauma of divorce.